Okay, so if one of the council, so I'm not technically on this council, I'm from the state, I'm from Mass Cultural Council. So if one of you could actually open the meeting officially and call to order, be great.
I'd like to call the order meeting.
Great. And
Meeting to order.
okay, and so this is technically the voting meeting. That said, last meeting only Tina could attend, and so for various reasons. So I think it would be great if we could just start off maybe and have elect or have someone step up to be the chair, secretary, and treasurer for the council, so we have someone who is able to convene meetings moving forward. Does that sound okay?
Well, I don't want to record and I don't want to do the money, so I guess I have to be chair.
I think you make a great chair.
I love to delegate. Andrew or Svet, either you guys want to come forward?
I'm forward, but I have no idea what to do with the treasury. Do we get paid money or do we just turn around? What does the treasurer do? I don't understand. It's money that's going out, not money coming in, correct?
The money's already here.
It's $22,000, correct?
Well, no, it's more than that because there was money left over
Okay.
from the previous year. I did the, what was it, the financial thing to get us started this year, but I just went to the town accountant to get that information.
Okay, well, I'm in the dark with this all, until I go through another year of this. I have no idea what I'd be doing. I just got elected president of Music Alley, so I'm involved with that 100%. So, I can't, by right, feel comfortable going on being a treasurer of something I don't know anything about. So I could do something else. I just don't feel as if it'd be appropriate for me to be treasurer at this time. We still here?
Bet?
Yes. Unfortunately, me too. I work long hours and my job is very, very demanding. I don't know what specific responsibilities would add being the treasurer. At this point, again, I'm happy to explore it further, but it's going to be something that I cannot commit, unfortunately, at this point, due to, again, the nature of my job. And also, like, just as last time, I was on my way to attend the meeting and then emergency happened in the hotel and I had to go, and I felt so bad because I was waiting for that meeting for like a month to attend it. But anything I can help with, again, my understanding in the beginning was that the involvement will be more on Sundays, and this is when usually one of my days off is, and that's why.
Apparently we cannot meet on Sundays or Saturdays.
Yeah, so I'm more than happy again to help with anything that can contribute to the council. But
I mean, my understanding is that we are done by the time we figure out who's getting the money, then we're done. I mean, we can be more involved if we want through the summer and create our own programs and go around and advertise and tell people file, apply for grants, but I don't think that we have to do that. So I think that my understanding is the treasurer basically just keeps track of the amount of money we've allotted out. The town accountant does it all. We just give them permission to go ahead and give the grants. So we don't actually touch the money. We just keep track of the money.
Yes, so the treasurer role would be really, I mean, it depends on the council too, exactly. Like there are different councils who handle it differently, and there's some councils that have two people who are jointly doing the treasurer role, but it's, you would be filling out the financial report, going to the town accountant, figuring out how much money you have to grant each year. And we've tried to make that process pretty straightforward. So it's really just a single meeting with the town accountant. And then after made your decisions about grants, then keeping track of those grant payments, because it is required for direct grants. You do need to sign off on the forms before they are actually sent to the accountant to then to send out the funds to the applicant. So if that makes sense.
Still no interest? Andrew, Svet?
This is my first rodeo with this group. I can't just jump into something I don't know what I'm doing. I mean,
Okay, all of us
I
are
would-
brand new. All of us are brand new.
so there's not one person who was on last
No.
year?
Nope,
Okay.
not one of us.
Well, I mean, in that case, I have no problem being treasurer as long as I don't handle the money. I can record the money going out and the money coming in. But it was my understanding, after looking at the website, there was only $22,000 that came in. I mean, where is the other money coming from?
Left from
I-
last year.
Okay, so there's rolled over money from last year.
Right, so
wouldn't-
whenever it was that
we have-
Hanoka asked me to contact the town accountant, I got all the numbers from her just by email. I didn't even meet with her. I do play pickleball with her sometimes, but I didn't even meet with her. She had all the forms that we needed, and it was just plugging in the numbers and we were done. So that was 15 minutes, maybe, when I put the financial
the town
report together to start this year.
Who is the town accountant?
Lori, what is Lori's last name? She knew exactly what we needed. It was super easy to get the information from her. She's very well versed in the grants.
Okay, well, let's put it this way. Tomorrow, I'm assuming that town hall is closed on Fridays?
They're open till noon, but you can
they are
email
open.
Lori. You don't have to actually meet with her in person.
Okay,
I
so-
did not meet with her in person.
All right, I will
And
email
what needs
her
to be
in the
done with
morning.
her has already been done. We don't need to do anything with her until after we've made decisions.
Well, I'd like to find out what the format is directly from her so that I'm not liable for anything that I make a mistake on. So it would just,
Oh, thank
know,
you. So in the chat, she put in Lori Garini.
okay. Mhm.
And if you
Andrew,
go to-
I can, yeah, go ahead, Tina.
If you go to Smart Simple, you can see the financial report.
Right, I'll try to go on that, but I'm having a hard enough time doing a Zoom meeting. It's not even allowing me in. So I'm gonna try keeping, while I'm on the phone, I'm gonna try trying to sign on to this. So just bear with me. But until I talk to Lori, I can't make a decision. It's not something that I expect to do right now. So what I can do is send an email to you all after I speak to her, and we'll go from there. Can we table this treasurer's position till the next time we meet? I mean, is this something that's got to be decided right now?
I mean, I think ideally, yes, but it's okay if we table it and people can think about the positions.
Yeah, but that's a good idea. I think that's a little bit more comfortable for people to react to.
And-
but,
And Andrew, I can connect with you separately offline just to explain what the treasurer role is and walk you through Smart Simple too, if that's
that'd be fine.
helpful. And the grant cycle and what that would entail.
And I'm sorry, it's my fault that we don't meet on Sundays. I put on email, that's my religious holiday, so I don't do anything on Sundays. I spend it with the family, so
I don't,
that's-
don't take
you can all blame
responsibility.
me
It's
if
a
there's a problem
town
with-
rule.
yeah.
It's a town rule. It has nothing to do with you saying you can't do it or not.
Okay, well, in that case, maybe we can move forward with reviewing the grants. Everyone had a chance to review them?
Yep.
Yes, okay.
Should we start with the
And-
first one? Let's go through them all. There's what, 42? Is that right?
There are 42, yes.
And actually, Tina, as the new chair, since I'm, again, technically not on the council, if you don't mind going ahead and leading. But if you have any questions, I can't give any opinions on grants, but if there's any technical questions or what a qualification is or anything like that, I can certainly.
All right,
I do have a
so
technical question.
Andrew and Svet, are you on Smart Simple?
Yeah.
Okay,
No.
so let's go to-
What is the website, please? smartsimple.com?
massculturalcouncil.smartsimple.com. And you probably have to set up an account.
I already have an account, yeah.
Great. So do we have to do them in order, Hanoka?
Whatever works for you in terms of.
Well, I'm wondering if we should go
None.
ahead and do number 6, which is the one book, since the ladies that are on want to hear us talk about that. Unless they want to stay on the whole time.
And speaking for the group from One Book, One Community, we have one person who needs to make a flight for tomorrow. So, and you do as well. So if we can, if we could go first, we would be very appreciative.
Yeah, I don't know
Any
what
questions?
to,
Be glad to answer them.
yeah. Svet and Andrew, is that okay?
Yes.
Yep, go ahead.
Okay, so number 6. One Book, One Community is looking for $1,750 to purchase copies of the book that they're doing in the spring, I think. It's called You'll Never Believe What Happened to Lacey, which is a hysterical book. I've already read it. How many copies does that make?
It's
when you gals
actually
in that
summer.
group?
Tina,
It's
it's
a sum-
actually the
okay.
summer read.
How many copies can you buy with that amount of money?
I don't have the grant written in front of me, but I believe that's involved in the grant. We were going to be putting money toward books. I believe it was 20 copies of the book, but I'm not exactly sure. It's 850.
I do have a question, if I may.
Sure.
This was done through Bridgewater State University last year.
Yes,
They
it's been
gave you
done.
funding for this? And what was the amount that they gave you and how many books did you generate out of that?
We generally would, that's exactly what we had done as a committee. We had looked at the amount of books that we had distributed through the library, through the senior center, through the community. And we had asked for the same amount of books. And One Book, One Community was funded by the college for 20 years. And we got that information. And so that's where we came up with the figure for the amount of money for, I believe it was approximately, if anybody on the committee can remember, I believe it was approximately $700 for the books. But we're also looking to run a workshop on how to access books online that are ebooks, so that again, that would be part of what we're looking for. We're also looking to be able to fund a program, a readers theater program, where we're going to be incorporating people from the college in readers theater and doing a performance for that. We also have going to be funding, not funding, but we have volunteers who are going to be I'm sorry, my mind's going blank.
We're also looking for money for advertising,
Advertising,
our paper and our copying.
because the amount that we looked up when we went to the copy center for doing the copying was also some money. And we're also going to be having a YouTube video, and we needed to be able to advertise that as well. So there are a number of activities that we have focused around the book and the book discussions as well. So basically it's for advertising, it's for the readers theater, it's for hiring a consultant to be able to run workshops on how to access ebooks. So that, and in the future, because we are no longer funded by the college, we can people can access ebooks instead of having to have print copies.
Okay, so Diane, under the grant request, under your budget, you don't
Mhm.
mention all those things.
I think we tried to mention as many things as we could in the grant proposal. Some of them are going to be not, like the people who are volunteering to do the discussion groups are not going to be paid. Those are volunteers. So that's going to, and we will provide our own refreshments, and that'll be done through us. The
And what
volunteer-
other communities have you guys applied for grant money from?
We haven't, because we're just from Bridgewater. We're One Book, One Community. This
Right, but
is-
the One Book, One Community is many different communities.
It has been,
Right.
correct. What we've
East
done.
Bridgewater. East Bridgewater picked it up in the fall, and they had a grant to bring Stephen Pulio and purchase some books. So each town is taking a turn so that it doesn't all rest on one town. East Bridgewater, West Bridgewater, Mansfield, Bridgewater.
Halifax.
So you're
Cal-
saying that the other towns are not being asked for funds for this coming year?
That's correct,
No.
because what we've done is
No,
because.
it's that-
Go ahead.
In the winter program, is it West Bridgewater that's doing the winter program that's funding that?
Yes, because they'll be buying,
think
I
it
believe
is.
they'll be buying the
Yeah.
books for that. Like Mansfield did part of the cultural council, they had an Irish singer who came and did some things for that.
Mhm.
I believe each community has taken a different role in regarding a book and leading a book. So this is the one that we've decided to lead, which is next summer, spring into summer.
Right.
And how many of those books are actually in the sales system?
Actually, there weren't that many. I believe there were 12 in the sales system at this point.
How about ebooks or audio?
Ebooks and audio we could access as well. So that would be something that we would be able to do. And that's one of the reasons we were going to hire someone to help run a workshop to be able to access those ebooks.
But sales already owns them. Is that what you're
Yes.
saying?
Yes. Yes, sales has them on ebooks, but then all the books that we have that we're choosing, we make sure that there are ebooks online, but a lot of us don't know how to access the ebooks. And so there has been a real, out of the 100 people who are on our list, there aren't that many that have been able to access the ebooks because they don't have those skills.
Each of the libraries usually has somebody who can show you how to do that stuff, but
What we've been told at Bridgewater, because I did approach the Bridgewater librarian, and he said that they were short-staffed and that they were unable to do that.
okay. I don't like hearing that.
And there are books available. We always make sure that there are some books available in the libraries to begin with for people who want to
Right.
get the book ahead of time. But there's never enough for the amount of people that need them.
Right.
So our books, we buy the books and ask them to be passed on. So the senior center people will get them and pass them on to somebody.
Okay. All right, Andrew or Svet, do you have any other questions for the
I
One
do
Book,
have a
One
question.
Community?
Sure. How many were generated last year to the Bridgewater Senior Center when you got funding from BSU?
I believe our
Maybe-
funding was last year, though, was it? It was several years ago because we were told
Yeah,
that
we didn't get any, we haven't
We
had
didn't get any-
funding for the last.
I was gonna say
2 years.
during COVID, there wasn't a lot going on with one book.
No, and Bridgewater State did tell us that, unfortunately, due to their budget situation, that's why we were cut out, One Book, One Community. So we're trying to kind of get this moving along on our own, and, we have our base there because we're doing this for about 20 years, and it just would have went by the wayside. So we're trying to pick up on this and keep the momentum going because it's been such a positive thing.
So
We're
I
trying to
think the
move along
question,
on it.
maybe I'm
We
misspeaking,
would
but
ask-
Andrew, was your question,
Right.
how much did the college give
How many?
towards this in the past?
We
Actually,
would drop off about 10 copies
Yeah,
when the college was, university was funding it. 10 copies to Bridgewater, 10
Mhm.
copies to West Bridgewater, 10
Yeah.
copies to East Bridgewater, 10 copies to the senior center in East Bridgewater. And then sometimes we drop them off at Just Desserts and Restoration Coffee and have a copy
So you're saying
there.
that the college funded enough for you guys to get 60, sounds like, books.
Yes.
We get
Not
about
only that,
60.
then we would have to fund the authors to be able to speak, to usually fund a field trip related to what was going on. You know, I can't even tell you some of the things that
So
we,
you're saying, what I'm hearing is that $1,750 is a drop in the bucket compared to what the funding used to be.
correct.
Oh, a big
Absolutely.
drop in the,
Okay,
We tried to
all right.
hire the author. We had spoken to the
Yeah.
the Speakers Bureau for the author, and the price was $35,000. And I said, well, what
Yeah.
about
For a
virtual?
Zoom
They
call.
said, that's the price for 1 hour virtual for the author for this particular book. So that was out of the question. So instead, we've settled on a YouTube video of an interview with the two authors of this particular book. And we're going to be holding that at the
Mhm.
senior center.
and that's free?
That's free.
Mhm.
Yay.
We need to have, but again, we're getting
Yeah.
in-kind donations, both from the library and from the senior center and from the TV station here in town to be able to help run that so that we're getting in-kind donations in terms of space. That's what
And we're
we want.
also doing a speakers panel too, and they're volunteering their time, our
Yeah.
speakers.
And we've got that lined up.
We
Yeah,
have a
we got
panel.
that lined up, so.
But the university would fund anywhere from 10 to 20, well, $25,000 when we did nickel and dime. She was
Mhm.
the most expensive. But usually anywhere from $800 to $10,000 for a speaker who would come, they would provide dinner, and then they would speak to the audience in the auditorium and provide the books. So
And the advertising and would fund a field trip if we needed, if there
Right.
were several field trips
So-
that were buses for
so
hire.
just
I'm gonna,
Just to
sorry,
clarify,
Tina,
you
is
are
it-
not going to be getting any other people funding anything for the summer program that Bridgewater is responsible for. So if
Yes,
we don't
correct.
give you grant money, it's not going to happen.
Correct.
Yeah,
Okay.
And I believe that's actually in the application as well. And I would just encourage all the council to, because it's great that you all from One Book, One Community are here, but there are many applications, and a lot of them are not here and present and cannot further explain their grant application. So in the sense, for the council meeting, the people who should really be talking is the council and deliberating based on what was submitted, to be fair, to the other applicants as well. So just putting.
So are you
You want us
suggesting
to
that we
meet-
should not ask for any more input from the One Book, One
Oh.
Community?
Unless it's absolutely necessary.
Gotcha.
It's like
Okay.
something that's just
So
very
Svet and
not-
Andrew, do you have any thing you want to talk about?
The only thing I have to talk about is I was approached by somebody, a woman with this group, to try to favorably approve this, and I don't think that's appropriate. So, in the future, if I'm involved in something, I'm going to take a step back, and there is a group I'm involved with on this grant situation. I was approached by one of the members who will be named nameless about 3 times about trying to approve this money. And I just said, until we have a meeting, until we discuss it, I'll make my own judgment at that time. So.
I'd like to speak on my behalf because I was that person. Your
Yeah.
name, Andrew, given to me by Marilee Hunt, and I wasn't sure when the people were meeting or if the committee was going to be meeting. And I wasn't sure how to apply for a grant because we hadn't done that before. And so I had contacted you regarding that. And then I contacted you the second time I contacted you. It was when I was looking for the time of the meeting. So I apologize if you interpreted as me wanting
Well,
to.
I think it's
ask for
inappropriate and it's because you had met me at Music Alley and you asked me about it. Then on Juneteenth, you approached me again about it. And then you had called my home phone again recently finding out when the meeting was. So I just don't think it's appropriate. It's gonna look like collusion if I start, you know, I don't want to get involved in that. And I had to sign a contract with this group to, you know, to show fair and equitable responses to a lot of these grants. And I just don't think it's appropriate out of season. You know, if you're applying for the grant, then we have this discussion like we are now. But in the past, it shouldn't have been done. And I just kind of, you know, you made me feel very uncomfortable in so as Merrill Lee was not appropriate giving you my home phone number. So, you know, it's one thing if you email the group and not just one person. I don't want to be swayed either way. And so I'm going to zip it and go from there, and I'll make my decision at the appropriate time.
I'm very sorry you felt that that was inappropriate. Mary Lee had given me that number and told me that I was able to call the group because she wasn't sure what was going on with the group. So again, I don't want my behavior to be, and I will resign from the committee if that's the case, and let the other 3 people on the committee take over. I feel that strongly about it because I feel that strongly about One Book, One Community, and I don't want to have my behavior affect the way you vote. So I'll just leave it at that, and I'll mute.
I think we were very frustrated because we could not find out if there even was a cultural council. There didn't seem to be any members.
Yeah.
And Diane kept trying to find who would be a cultural council member. And evidently you were the only one that was a cultural council member to give us some information. So I too, from the committee, apologize to you if you felt you were being attacked in any way. And that certainly is not our intention at all. I have to go, I have to pack. So thank you very, very much for your time and your consideration.
And
Thank
I
you,
also
Gloria.
believe
Thank
that Diane was
Um,
looking for guidance and information. That's all that was about. So, you know, I apologize also if that was the feeling.
All right, Svet, anything you wanted to
I
say?
was just going to ask, based on this activity being done in the previous years, what was the impact on the community as far as how many residents eventually were impacted? Is there like any data like this, like any numbers that we can look at?
I think the only data that we would have been through the college. You know, they had kept the records and the information about how many attended the authors talk and how many attended this event, because we also had book discussions and there were a lot of different events that went on. Unfortunately, like I said, like we had mentioned, they're no longer involved with this. So they have had all that information or whatever it might have been, you know, several years back.
Well, what
Yeah.
happened with the Stephen Puleo book? What was your
I
turnout
was
for
just
that?
going to say,
Yeah.
when Stephen Puleo came to speak at the East Bridgewater Library, who hosted him and paid his cost, I would estimate that there were 50 people that came to hear him talk. The room was full. I mean, you couldn't put in any more people.
And how many book discussions were there and people who attended those?
There were 2 book discussions, one at the senior center, and I would say there were 5 people that came. And then at the Bridgewater Public Library, there were about 12. I would estimate about 12 people. What else did we have? We had James Hayes Bohannon
At the senior center?
at the senior center, who spoke about the history of potatoes, because the book was about the
Right. Would you say that maybe 100 people were impacted by this?
Oh, more than 100 total. Yeah,
Mhm.
Okay, so I think that's what Svet is asking.
yeah. I
And
would,
Debbie, can I comment also?
Sure.
The mere fact that these were recorded also. Again, I was away on vacation, so I had the opportunity to watch this as others had the opportunity to view it later on. So that's an impact also. And that, we wouldn't be able to calculate, but I know many people were able to watch the recordings or whatever afterwards. So, I mean,
Mhm.
it was very exciting for people to realize that, he was coming and speaking, and the book was fantastic, so.
Again, I encourage you to stick to the application itself when
Okay,
reviewing these.
we'll do
And
that.
also,
All right.
just as another note, with the open meeting, it's an open meeting for anyone can attend, but that doesn't mean that everyone can speak. So it's
Gotcha.
just the council members who can speak. And so when you were asked, when other people who are not in the committee were invited into the meeting, if you want a comment, you're certainly welcome to ask for it, but does not mean that everyone gets necessarily.
I'm gonna mute myself.
Yes, and I'm also just aware, Tina, you said you have you have a flight that's early tomorrow morning.
Well, I
and
was
it's
just told to
7
stay up all
o'clock.
night now.
So,
And on
yes,
that note,
again, Andrew, what was that?
on that note, we've got 42 to go through, and this is only
Yes.
one of them. It's gonna be a
Yeah, I
long
know.
night if we don't.
Yeah, we need to move
Couple
along. So unless you guys have
Yeah.
any other comments. Now, are we supposed to vote as we go along or discuss them and then go vote later?
It depends on.
I am to believe that we are supposed to vote, not during a meeting. I think it's
No, this is
after
a
the
voting
meeting. we
meeting.
vote
I think
on
we're
all-
voting.
Oh, we're voting, okay.
Yes, Andrew, this is for the voting meeting, the voting has to happen in an open meeting because it's public
Okay.
business. Mhm.
All right, so do we want to table this one till we start going through some of the others?
Yes,
Because there's like $60,000 worth of requests.
we should talk about all of them and then go back and vote. I don't think we should vote on every one as we go through it.
Okay,
Because if we do that, we're gonna be out of money the halfway through.
correct. All right, so do you guys want to start at the very beginning?
Yes.
Very good place to start. Let's start singing. All right, so the first grant request is trying to figure out why it's not working for me.
Applause Academy,
Applause Academy, which takes place in Taunton. So do we want to support Taunton? They did apply to 10 other councils. They also
They
charge a
applied to-
fee for people to attend the Applause Academy. It's not a free thing.
and it's not a benefit to the welfare of the people that live in that town either, if they have to pay for it.
Correct,
This is like, it's a nonprofit organization, but they're charging people. So
correct.
they're looking for $1,000, but yet they need 198,000 to run it.
Right.
I don't know. It just seems a little, I think the whole idea of the cultural council is for the benefit of the people of, to go
Of
and
Bridgewater,
be able to listen.
Exactly.
Yeah, Bridgewater.
right.
I think we should move on from this one, to be honest with you.
I'm no
Okay,
on
so
this
do you
one.
want to deny it or do you want to put it on hold?
I would say deny it.
I agree. I would deny
Okay,
this
so
one.
that, all right, all in favor of denying number one, applause.
I
I have the thing, I can't tell what you guys are doing. You have to say it.
Andrew, deny.
Andrew says no, or no, deny, and Svet, you say deny?
I Svet deny.
Okay, I agree. All right, so on to number two. It is Attleboro. Theater.
Attleboro.
Again, they charge admission to the program.
I deny.
I deny as well.
Okay, that's easy. Number three is something that the senior center wants. David Bates. Sea Songs and Stories, a performance for seniors. They already have a date. They're anticipating 100 people. I doubt it, but
Do you have the date? Is it a Saturday or is it during the week? If there is a
Says
date.
Wednesday.
Wednesday, April
Wednesday at 1.
26th, 2023 at 1 p.m.
Wednesday, okay. I can't,
so we
you
would
know
be
what,
funding 100% of it. They want 500
Yeah.
and that's what the guy charges.
I agree. I would accept it. It's for the benefit of.
And
the Freedom
100%?
Town.
Or, because
Yeah.
apparently if we read the grant request, if partially funded, the project will still occur with the artist providing an additional sliding scale discount or with additional funds from the Council on Aging, especially if the total amount of funding is within a nonprofit sliding scale, 350 to 500.
Yes.
So
If
do we
we-
want to
if
give them
we
a little
give
bit
them
less, knowing
350?
that we've got $60,000 in requests? And we've only just gotten rid of 1,200?
I would say 350. This person is coming from Shelburne, Mass, which is out in Western Mass, and they've already got a date for it. And, as a good neighbor, he or she's coming to Bridgewater to perform this,
Right.
Mhm.
I wouldn't say the 500, but is it 350 would be what I would agree to. I mean, I don't want to
Okay,
be the
Svet?
one that's always saying.
Yes,
So-
I agree. It's for the community members in the Bridgewater area.
Okay, so
There's
Andrew,
no
I know
big-
you haven't accepted to be treasurer, but can you keep a running tally?
Yep.
Thank you. All right, so
Okay.
all in favor of 350 for the Davis Bates at the senior center?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. And then on to number 4 is the Bridgewater Brass. They play at the Common on July 4th. Do you guys ever go to the Common on the 4th?
No, I'm out of town on the 4th. But you know what? It's for the people in town, so I'm
No,
all
I'm just
for it.
wondering if, all right, so they're looking for
650.
650 from us and they need 1,300. If they don't get the entire amount they're requesting, the performance will not take place. So I guess the local business community funds the other part,
Or donations from
Mhm.
right?
the people in town. I don't know if that's, let me see here. I'm looking at the grant right now and it's really not.
So
I'd
they're
never heard of them.
they're semi-professional,
but-
professional musicians in the area.
Yep. Can we come back to this
Yes,
one? Just put a check next to it and come back to it.
okay,
There's a lot of
agree,
others
Sven?
we have to go through.
Yeah, that's fine.
okay. On to number 5. It is the Civil Rights Committee for Juneteenth. Now, last year, they were granted $2,800 of a $3,500 request. So they received less than what they requested last year. And now this year, they're looking for $5,000. The total budget is 7,860. So they're not asking us to fund all of it.
Mhm.
And they are not getting money from any other councils, which makes sense if they're going to be
Bridgewater.
just doing Bridgewater. Any thoughts? Has anybody been to any of the Juneteenth things?
I went last year to it. Unfortunately, I believe the Holy Ghost gathering was the same weekend as Juneteenth, the same day. So they had put out bands and they had a bunch of other things, but it was attended well, but not as well as it should have. It was over at the UU Church had hosted it. I don't know where they're going this year. I had heard they're going up by the middle school or something to have the event there, but I'm not quite sure how they're going to run it. As far as the money's concerned, they're looking for 5. They're probably going to raise 7. What is our total? You said 60,000
Yes, we have over
of
60,000 in requests.
requests, but how much? We don't have 22. What do we have that we didn't use
We have
last year?
26.
26. Okay. And they received how much last year?
2,800.
28. So they're looking for almost double that.
Yeah, looks
You know?
like they're, I'm looking at their project budget. They need like 7,860 for the whole project. But some of these materials like booklet, 950, marketing promotion, 500. At the same time, they said that they use social media, which is free usually, you know, if you're advertising
Yeah.
through social media. So I don't know. I wouldn't go with the full amount. Probably something similar to last year, if not even less.
Do you want to table that one as well and come back to it?
I think Sven hit the nail on the head.
It's just
They
a
were
lot of
asking
money.
for-
That's like more than
Yeah,
10%.
I don't want to be out of money by the time we get to the
Okay,
other
so-
groups.
I move that we table that one and come back.
Yeah, okay.
Svet, is that okay?
That's okay.
Okay, One Book, One Community.
Another table. Come
Okay,
back to it.
all right. And then Big Ryan, he is expensive. Oh my gosh, I had no idea.
Yeah. Yeah, that was,
Um,
I like it.
He does get well attended. I have to say, when he comes, they come out of the woodwork. The kids do.
So he's
Um,
been here before.
Oh, yes. He has quite a groupie following.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
And he probably,
nice.
yeah.
It
Did
appears,
he,
according to
did he
the,
apply last year?
he did not, they did not get, the Bridgewater Public Library didn't get any money last year that I am aware of. When I looked through, oh, I take that back. The Chess Club got money. I'm just looking to see what, yeah, I don't think the public library got any money last year. So this is the thing with Big Ryan, $2,400 is for multiple shows.
Yes,
His program costs $200 per show. So it looks to me like they want him every month.
looks like they booked him for October already until February 2023.
Well, October already happened.
Yes. And then they want to get obviously more shows for 2023. So that's what I'm thinking. If October already happened and November, now it's December. So
Well,
do they
what's
really?
really sad is the Bridgewater Public Library no longer has a friend group that does fundraising for them. So they depend on the Cultural Council now.
I see.
So if we don't fund it all, they just scale back the number of months. So is that one we want to table and then figure out how much money we have left? Or do you want to deny it?
Well, I think we should go through, this is a benefit for the town, correct?
Right.
Everybody's
So
going to be
I
able
think
to
it's
go
worth
here
funding,
free.
but do we want to fund it completely or partially?
I would say partially.
Okay, so let's put a star on that
I
one.
would, okay, so star on that
So
one.
I've got 4 of them with stars right now. They're saying we're gonna give them something. We don't know how much yet.
Yep.
Okay, on to the next one. This one is the high school. They're looking for, now this to me seems, I looked at this one and I'm like, what? There's only 17 students who benefit?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't, you
Or
know, and
20
anything.
students? So apparently they have an artist come and teach a select group of people at the high school. I don't know if they asked for any money from Rainham, because it's Bridgewater Rainham students.
Yeah.
Yeah, they did not apply to Rainham,
Yeah.
and it's
I
a
would,
lot of money.
I would deny it. I would deny it simply because we have a tax base that should be paying for this out of our
Yeah.
taxes for the schools.
I agree.
And it's not for the benefit of anybody coming off the street in Bridgewater.
Okay, so is that a deny?
And
I would say deny too.
Okay, good. We're getting through this. Number 9. This is Brockton Symphony Orchestra performing in Brockton.
I think I would deny this because you still have to pay to go and see it. Anything you have to pay and go see, I would deny, because we're trying to do this for the benefit of our
Correct.
residents.
Okay, so is that a deny?
Deny.
No.
Okay, number 10.
That's a big one, 3,000, huh?
It is a big
Yeah.
one. So Carrie Campbell is a local gal that does music lessons in the schools. Those of you who think that taxpayers should pay for this probably feel like we should deny this. She did get denied already by Rainham this year.
Mhm. So what does she go into the school and do the music for?
She does music for the preschool.
School? Or
I
do they
don't
go
know
to
if
her
the preschool
studio?
curriculum includes music. It does for the kindergarten and above, but I don't know about the preschool. So
I mean, looks like she's the only one that's getting the teaching fee. That's what I'm seeing under the budget.
right, it's the salary for her.
It's a salary for her.
So the school district benefits by us paying her salary.
I hate to be a hard nose on this, but I don't like the way this looks. I really don't. Anything that has to do with the schools should be paid for by the schools. I mean, does that mean you can take your child from Rainham or Bridgewater and bring them up? If they don't go to a private school and partake in this? It
Oh, it's
doesn't look
only for
that
the
way.
students who are actually there.
That's right. And if you have students that you send to a private school, they don't have the opportunity to go to this and enjoy this. So
Correct. Do I have a
would
motion?
deny. I would deny.
I would deny it as well.
Okay, on to the chess club. Now, last year, the chess club got $2,000. And they're asking for another $2,000.
Well, I think they should get it. I've seen them in action.
Right, but what
they're
happened to
in-
the $2,000 from last year?
What is the $2,000 for?
They're looking for chess sets, tournament materials, and clocks.
It looks like some software and hardware. for
software and
Pratt
hardware.
Company. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, the question is, I guess, what did they do last year with the money?
I mean, if somebody wants to go look at their grant request from last year, it's on Smart Simple. We can see what they were looking for the use of the money last year. And if it was
I
for
would
chess
be-
sets again.
I would be curious to see if they have kind of gained more members, if they had more activities after they received the grant. What is like kind of like the percentage of participation in their activities, but I don't see any kind of that type of information here.
Well, we are
I-
permitted to reach out to them to get more information if you guys wanted it.
But other than that, obviously chess is great. I love chess, and I think that it's great that we have the Bridgewater Chess Club. And it's open also for all type of skill levels and ages. So I think it's great for the community.
So according
Yeah.
to what they wrote, the chess club will be forced to limit participation and cut off continued growth. With only so many materials and support, my concern is the club will stagnate and eventually lose participation. So they're saying if we don't give them money, they can't expand. But do we have to give them the full $2,000?
I would
No.
say half of the
I would
amount.
say 1,000.
Yeah,
All right, do you feel comfortable saying that now? Right now, that's 1/26
correct.
of our budget. Okay, so we're good, all in favor of 1,000 to the chess club.
Yes.
Yep.
Okay,
Yep.
on to the next one, number 12. Rachel Daly is doing stuff in Foxborough and Norton. She applied last year and was declined.
Yeah, I
There is a
mean,
fee for the students to do her program.
it doesn't really have to do much with Bridgewater, right?
Unless they travel to Foxborough or Norton, wherever she's doing her
Yeah.
thing.
No,
All right, so all in favor, deny?
deny.
And
Okay. Next is Music Alley.
I'm stepping back on this one. I can't vote.
So last year you guys got 4,000
Mhm.
and this year you're asking for 5,000. You know, I've heard all about Music Alley, but I've never gone and done anything with it.
Am I allowed to speak on behalf of Music Alley and tell you, answer
I
any
wish you
questions?
would.
Okay, I will. Music Alley is made up of a board of directors that was put together, musicians and business owners who went out and took the space in between all in donations, in between the old town hall and the Hasiotis building where Music Loft is located. And every Thursday, we give free concerts to the town. We don't get any funding from the town. We look for donations from people to come listen, but everybody's invited. We've purchased chairs. We've purchased all sorts of, it holds about, at the most, maybe 250 people in there. And we are starting to have some growing pains where there've been nights where people were standing outside by the town hall watching over the fence, if you've ever had a chance to go in there. Now, I know the chess club goes there during the summer out of the library and they play on our tables or other tables. But the Friends from Music Alley were made up to kind of run this. And we do spend close to $20,000 a year on concerts. We do have, in the past, people have donated, local businesses and what have you. And as far as that's concerned, it's a total Bridgewater participation. Everyone and anyone and everyone in Bridgewater is invited and there's no cost. It's
Andrew, I
every
have a
Thursday
question.
night. Yep.
I have a question. You are asking for audio technician and crew. There's another grant in here from somebody who does that for the town of Bridgewater's events. Let me see if I can figure out which grant number it is.
Jay Crucius is the one that we
Yes.
pay.
He
that
wants
does
3
our
grand.
Music Alley.
So he's looking for
I-
$3,000.
But I think that's for the 4th of July and for he does the sound, the music and the sound for the 4th of July.
He
and
listed
as
Music
well.
Alley as one of his places.
Yes, we pay him directly, but I'm not quite sure whether if he gets that grant, he's going to put money towards Music Alley on that. I don't know what his thought process is on that.
Svet, do you have any comments?
Andrew has to leave the room because you're discussing his grant.
Yeah.
So the problem is you're on the phone. So
I've left the room.
okay, maybe come
Any
back in
comments, Svet?
a couple minutes.
Yeah, come back to in a couple minutes.
Svet, any comments?
Kept looking at the application again, looks like it's a great activity for the community. No cost for the attendees, which is great. Looks like last year we shared $4,000, and it's an 8th annual 8th annual year, great event, happening June through September. I see that about 2,500 residents were beneficially, kind of affected by participating in the project. As far as their budget, looks like they have salaries about 12,500, production technician cost 3,000, marketing promotion 2,000, and some other fees and then down there I saw that the very last resort, they could revise the program, production, and performer fees if necessary. But looks like they have no outside sources of funding as well. So
Yeah, just donations from people in town.
exactly. So
Right.
looks
But
like
5,000 is a big chunk of the budget.
yeah, if you think about the percentage of our total amount, it is a big chunk of it. So with all due respect, probably I would go with a lower amount. Now, what would be that lower amount? We have to just make a
Well, they got
decision
4,000 last year.
last year. So let's say if we go with 4,000 this year, keeping in mind that we have some money left from last year, I think that would be probably a fair decision here. Because we also want to have obviously some money for the rest of the activities and organizations applying for grants as well. But at the same time, this event has proven that 8 years in a row, they have provided beneficial, positive impact for the community. Looks like they're willing to grow and expand, which is great, and obviously continue to entertain the community. And costs have been increasing, as we know, for everything out there. So what is your thought process here?
I guess
Tina?
I feel like putting a star by it and coming back and figuring out how much money we have left.
Yes. I
But
think
I
we
hate to
would leave
keep
it.
kicking Andrew out.
Yes. Maybe we'll leave it at the end. And I was going to ask you guys, I was planning to attend from 6 to 8. Now, do we plan eventually to finish the meeting at some point, or how long would the meeting last?
I'm looking for Hinoko.
Hanako?
So there's no cutoff to this meeting.
Except for my
but-
flight.
Except your flight. But you have to do the discussion on applications within open meeting. So you would have to post it. So if we didn't get through all the applications and Svet, you had to leave at 8, then we have to post another meeting and then continue.
Okay,
the
because I'm currently at work, again, I was planning for 2 hours, but I didn't know that it would take longer than that. But again, I will get it done. I'm sure we'll get through all the applications.
All right, so
Yeah.
I guess back to our original question. Do you feel like you're comfortable giving $4,000 to this, not knowing if we're going to be able to fund the other things that are coming up?
Not yet. I would leave it with a star for the moment.
All right, we're going to put a star by it. All right, you can invite Andrew back.
I'm back.
Okay, we're on to 14. 14 and 15 are both the Fuller Art Museum. It looks like the first one is more for adults and the other one is more for kids. They were declined last year for the adult one, but they got 350 of the full 350 they requested for the kids one last year. I mean, I love the idea of the Fuller Art Museum, but it is in Brockton.
Mhm. It's not convenient to get over there, but
I mean, we did give them money last year, so if we denied them, that would not be a big deal.
all right, I think we should deny them, both of them,
Both of them, okay.
my opinion.
Svet, do you agree?
Deny, yes.
Okay,
Just,
All right.
just so you all know too, you do need a reason for denial, and there's a couple of them, so it's based on like the reasons would be, and you have to input this, and it'll go out when you send the denial letters. So just so you're prepared to do this as well. The options are eligibility. It's not related to arts, humanities, sciences. It didn't provide enough public benefit or did not meet posted local criteria. So just making sure that you're making note of those as well as to the reasons.
So
that
the
you're-
posted local criteria, did we say we wanted it to benefit Bridgewater?
Yes,
Bridgewater,
So
yeah.
that's what we do for the
Yes.
Fuller Art Museum.
exactly.
Okay,
So just so you're not
do
having
we
to.
need to agree
reconvene.
as a committee on what our denial is, or can one of us to take
Yes.
responsibility for that?
Well, you should be deciding as like the reason for the denial. It shouldn't just be, we feel like, we feel this way, so we're gonna deny it. So there should be a reason there.
Well, I
maybe.
think
Well,
I think should we go back and do the ones that we already denied?
Yeah, if somebody
Um,
wants to keep score of what we're denying for. I think a lot of it's accessibility.
Yes.
The Attleboro Community Theater, I mean, you can't, it's half an hour to 35 minutes away.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
think we've
so-
talked
Like
about
that.
why we're denying. I think, who is the one who's going to be inputting this information? Hello?
I've got a running tab on what we're
I am
okaying
as
in the
well.
amount.
But so Andrew, you want to
Yeah.
take responsibility then for sending out the denials and why?
No. I think perhaps after this, we should have a physical meeting or a meet somewhere and just, you know, if we can do that or.
I think it has to
email
be an
back
open
and
meeting.
forth. Oh, it's gonna be, okay.
It's-
No.
If it's administrative, if you're not making any decisions, so if you're just going to fill out the grants decisions report, then you can meet separately.
Oh, good.
It's
Okay.
just a purely administrative,
we-
if you, but you
we'll
can't
continue
discuss.
on.
Yeah, exactly.
Number
Let's continue on, yeah.
16 is Francis Hart Music is coming to the senior center. No date yet. She wants the full 350. And that's the artist fee. That seems really high. These programs last all of an hour.
Let's
Yeah,
see if
it's-
they're taking the shotgun approach. He's
It
from
says it's suitable
Ipswich,
for all
Mass.
ages and family friendly, but it's only gonna be at the senior center.
Yeah. What
Any
if we
thoughts?
give them $200? But then if we give the money goes to the senior center, correct? It doesn't go to the artist?
Who applied for the grant? Francis Hart did. Not the senior
Yeah.
center. So the money goes to the artist.
Artist, okay. But my
Last year
question
she
is,
got-
if we,
Last year she got
If-
275.
so if we gave her the 275 and she needed 350 to do it, and they decided not to come because of that, because it's too few dollars, does that mean they can cancel and just keep the money, or do they have to give money back?
Mhm.
The question
My
I have.
understanding is, Hanoka, tell us how that process works if they don't actually do what they're supposed to with the grant money.
Yeah, if, so you all are a direct grant council, so that means, they'll ask for the money upfront. If they don't complete the program, well, one of two things will happen, right? So the grantee will either collect the money, but then they would have to submit a final report. If they don't submit the final report demonstrating that they had the grant, they can, you will be asking for the funds back. The other scenario is that if the program can't happen, that then they would just wouldn't accept the grant funds, which is generally what would happen. And so they wouldn't go and collect the funds. And then that money just wouldn't be used and come into this year, which is, Andrew, why there's more money to those grant funds that weren't distributed.
If I may interject a second, and just to let you folks know, being an artist myself, if I perform at a library and the library pays me $300, and there's 50 people there, there'll be at least 25 people that'll purchase a CD for $10 that cost me 75 cents to put together. So it's not just them going to the library. You say it's high. Well, if we give them less money, if they have swag or they have something to promote themselves with, they're making more money on that as well. So, we don't have to give them $350. And looking at the $275, that's right in line, more so than the $350. And you have to figure if they go there, people will want a piece of that person to say, oh yeah, I saw them and here's a CD I bought from them. It's free to go to the senior center and listen, or the library. It's up to the person listening who goes there if they want to then buy a CD or buy something else. So, you look at these performers going to these events and it might seem a little high, but remember this, most likely selling swag while they're there. So I don't feel bad at all not giving them as much as they want.
I have never seen anyone sell swag at the senior center or the library.
I have. If I do
Okay.
a concert, okay, and there's 50 people there, and after the concert, people will come up to me. I'll tell them I have CDs for sale. They'll just buy a CD from me.
This is at the
And like I
library?
said, yeah, at the libraries.
Hmm.
I did Plymouth Library last year, and I sold.
Yeah, I don't think
$600
Bridgewater
of
does,
CDs.
though.
They don't allow, no, but this is the senior center. They don't allow anyone who's performing to sell anything afterwards.
I have never seen it happen, but anyway, so what does everyone want to do about
I'm just playing
Francis
devil's
Park?
advocate, that's all. I think they should get 275 like they got last year. My own opinion.
Svet, what are you thinking?
I would deny it,
Deny it completely.
yes.
I feel like we gave them money last year. Do you want the
Mhm.
same performer year after year?
I didn't go into detail in reading this. Did they say they had an appearance again this year? Or are they just fishing for more money to commit again?
They
That's
won't
all.
schedule it if they don't get funding.
Oh, okay. All right.
I mean, we are already approved one of the other senior center things.
Yes.
David
Well, how many
Bates,
people-
Davis Bates.
How many people are voting here? Just the three of us?
That's it.
Okay, so I say yay, he says nay, and it's up to you to decide whether you want to do it or not.
I think we should deny. Because we are limited.
Yep.
They can apply again next year, they don't have to get money every year.
Correct.
Okay, the next one. Oh my gosh. I read this one and I was like, what is he asking for here?
That was the big one. Yeah.
Yeah, and he applied
Yep.
to so many
To-
different community centers, so many
Exactly.
councils. Anyway, he's performing
Deny.
only in churches in Brockton.
That's what
know.
I was gonna say. I looked at it as well, and it says the church in Brockton, and I was like, what does it has to do with Bridgewater activity?
Okay, do I have a vote?
Okay.
And also he's asking for money for $15 and $10.
Yes.
So I would deny.
Yeah.
How about you,
Deny.
Andrew? Okay,
Deny,
all right, number 18 is our pedophile, or whatever he is.
deny,
Okay,
Deny.
and then number 19 is a chorus playing in Brockton. They applied last year and were declined.
Yeah, again,
deny,
Brockton, not a
Brockton.
Bridgewater activity. I would deny.
Okay. We're almost halfway there, guys.
yeah.
All right, so this is the sound tech. Where does he get his funding if he doesn't get it from us?
Music Alley pays him for the sound every Thursday. He also provides the sound and is paid for by the Business Association for that fall event for Bridgewater that happens.
Autumn Fest, yeah.
on Green. Okay, Autumn Fest. And also, he has something to do with the 4th of July. I don't know what he does, but I believe for the Bridgewater 4th of July, people raise money for the 4th of July events and the fireworks and all that other stuff. And
So Andrew,
Well-
am I hearing that you think he's getting funding from enough other places? He doesn't need it from us?
I don't know. You posed the question, if we do give him money, does some of that money go towards the benefit of, say, Juneteenth or Bridgewater? Because he also did the sound last year for Juneteenth, which is the one of the other fundings. You know, that's my dilemma, because I'm reading it. It doesn't mention that money would go to that. It just mentions that he would be getting this money.
Right, for various activities.
Yeah, I don't know. They've never approached me and said, oh, if I get the $3,000 grant, then I won't be charging the Business Association's event and the 4th of July event and the Music Alley event and the Juneteenth event. That was never said in his verbiage. So I know Jason, he's well respected in the sound community. He's he's from West Bridgewater. He does a lot of work in the Bridgewater area. But it doesn't say whether it ties into any of these other events that are for the benefit of us, other than the 4 events that he does. So, and he gets paid for it. So I don't know. I'm gonna probably, because he's a friend of mine, I'm gonna probably have to step back on voting on this one as well.
Svet, what do you think?
Yes, I don't really see again how directly would benefit Bridgewater and
Well, it does, but I think the point Andrew didn't mean to make, but he did make, was that he can get funding from all the different groups that we're already talking about funding.
yes, and he doesn't necessarily need the funds as maybe other organizations that we will review. So I would deny for that reason.
Okay, I'm going to deny too. All right, the next one. David Malouf, how do you pronounce it?
Well,
The thing I was worried about with this one is he doesn't have any specific place in mind to do this.
Yeah.
Again, I think it looks like the shotgun approach, where he probably applied to many different areas where he's from Belchertown. And it doesn't
Right.
sound like he has any ties, nor does he mention, something for the library or for the children or for, the senior center.
Well, actually, I did reach out to him before I knew I wasn't allowed to. And yeah, I found out afterward that I wasn't supposed to do that without you guys' permission. He has gotten lots of rejections from different communities, but he did talk about doing it at the library, the senior center, or Music Alley. And he sets up dates after he gets the money.
In that case, if he's going to do, it's not going to be during a Music Alley event. It'll be a different day of the week in the alley itself. It's for the benefit. If it's free, I don't have a problem with what he's asking. Because I also book most of the acts over at the Marshfield Fairgrounds and several other places, and I know what these people get. And it depends on how long he's going to be there. If he's there for a few hours, that's it's right in line for what a magic act gets. But I didn't bother. I mean, I should have gone online to see on a YouTube of him performing. Who knows? He could be just doing card tricks, or
It's interesting. He says he's only going to reach 50 people.
30 actually.
Oh, even worse, yeah, 30 people. I guess he's a ukulele guy.
I just noticed under budget, he had included travel and transportation $50, and then further below, he says that he would pay all travel expenses himself, which means that we can give him 400 and he will be okay with that.
But I'm nervous that he doesn't even have, it's not like the senior center applied to have him come, or
Yeah,
it's specific, it's just like what Hanoko was saying, that you give them the money and then they set it up, and if they don't follow through, then the
Yeah.
state has to go finding the money to get it back.
Looks like
Yeah.
he has not planned it completely yet.
Correct.
And I would say that it's a little bit vague request, so this is why I'm going to deny myself. Thank you.
Okay,
yeah, I'm denying
Andy?
as well. Denying
You said
as
yes
well.
tonight?
Yep.
Okay. All right, on to 22. The Mayflower Orchestra is performing in Lakeville and Middleborough.
It still doesn't benefit Bridgewater.
Okay,
I'm
All in
gonna
vote?
have to deny that. I'm denying that.
Svet?
I'll deny.
Okay, we're more than halfway. All right, the next one, this was weird. I did contact her too before I knew I wasn't allowed to. But I don't know if I don't think she ever got back to me. I don't know that she ever got back to me.
It's too
No,
bad
you know
they
what? I
can't
did
put
not
a
reach
link-
out to her. I apologize. I did not reach out to her. I was going to. So apparently she wants to do something on local cable TV.
I saw that too.
Yeah,
I don't have cable, so it's not going to benefit me.
no,
I don't think
Um,
that too many residents have that local cable channel, so I'm not sure what the impact will be here.
And it's
Yeah.
opera.
Also, she's from Lakeville, if I'm correct.
mhm.
So I would skip on this one. I would deny.
I was deny as well.
Okay, you guys are making this easy. All right, next one. 24 is musicdance.edu. Now, this was weird. She wants to perform at the Bridgewater Nursing Home. Have you guys ever been in there?
No.
I have,
They're not going to be paying a whole lot of attention.
no. No, this is the nursing home circuit. She probably goes to several and does her thing there, and then that's it. I don't know that it's for the benefit of, the nursing homes have their own budgets and performances. I don't think we should commingle that with what we have for the public. Meaning the public's not going to show up at this nursing home to go in and watch her play, and they're going to be denied if they don't know anybody they're not visiting, so.
Right.
And it's about an hour show, so I don't know. I wouldn't think that there would be a big impact.
Do I have a vote?
I'm denying.
Deny.
Okay, on to 25. This is chair
Oh.
dance, also at the Bridgewater Nursing Home.
Hip hop dance.
I deny that as well. It's just accessibility. You can't, I don't feel it right to be using our funds to promote
Aren't they a
something.
for-profit?
Well, it says unincorporated with nonprofit purposes, but it's a for-profit organization.
Correct.
So it tells you right there. I mean, can I take a step back, ask Hanako a question? Hanako, are you there?
Yes, I'm here.
Are some of these groups able to post on their application a website? Is that the availability? Are they able to do that so that ourselves who are voting can go in and see these performances before we vote on them?
Some people have in the additional references, they might, or sorry, not additional references, additional materials tab, they might.
I was gonna
Yeah.
say, there is a
maybe,
tab there, but
But not
Yeah.
necessarily everyone uploads it. You can also,
Okay.
of course, you can Google and look up these
Yeah,
individuals or the organizations and gather information that way.
but it's a lot harder to do that. You know, is there any way in the future your group with the state can have like a little space? If you know, in the application says if you've got a link to your website, it'd be a lot easier for us to just click it on and watch it real quick instead of having to go on the World Wide Web and try to locate one of their videos. And there could be 15 or 20 of them online, you know?
Yeah,
That was just a question I had.
yeah, no, I appreciate that. I will put that down as feedback and take it to my team. Thank you.
Okay.
all right, all in favor of yes or no on the hip hop chair dance?
No, not
I'm
in
a
there.
no.
Okay. Now, the Natural Resources Trust, which is in Northeaston, the sheep pasture. They're looking for 500. They got 300 last year. They are
I believe
asking
this is
for,
Is this the Oliver Ames estate? Do you know?
no, this is
Okay,
the,
I looked it up on-
Alder Ames is further into Easton. This is the one right at the, right across from Corfino,
Okay,
Hilliards. So they've applied
Well,
to
there
4 other
again-
councils.
yeah.
I mean, do you think people from Bridgewater will go over to this thing?
I don't think so.
I don't think either.
Okay,
I'm
all
gonna
in
say
favor? To deny?
Deny.
no.
Okay. This next one should be easy. It's a Neponset Choir in Attleboro. And last year they were
I don't know how
declined
we-
because it had no Bridgewater benefit. So,
Yep, well, I'd decline again.
okay.
Deny.
All right, next we have, this
Howard
is
Newman?
one for the senior center. But it looks like the artist is the one who's applied.
So that's 2 people performing at the senior center. Mhm.
They're pretty expensive.
Well, you figure it's an hour back and an hour up for 2 people. You know, realistically, that's right in line with what they should be paid.
They don't have a date set, but sometime in the spring. I don't think they have applied before, so. Any thoughts?
It says
No,
that the
I'm
fee
for-
is negotiable. Any
Yeah,
reasonable offer
We
will
could
be.
offer half.
Yeah, you know what? I'm for anything that's gonna benefit the town. And if you've got a lot of seniors that wanna go in and something new comes up, you might, you know, they're asking for, was it 500, 550?
550.
If you give them 400, you know, and call it a day,
Yes, yeah.
that's what might,
Let's do it.
you know, for the benefit.
Okay, all in favor of 400?
I,
So that's-
400, I'm fine as well. Thank you.
400, okay. Next is the Old Colony Historical Society. This is kind of a cool thing. I don't know, I have not done this particular project, but I think they did it last year. So they create these passports and families go from all the different places in the Bridgewaters, you know, North Bridgewater, South Bridgewater, East Bridgewater, all of those, and learn about the historical stuff. I think they are looking for funding from yeah, they're looking for funding from all the different surrounding towns. And their full budget is $5,000 and they just want $200 from us.
And do we know the specific sites? They said various sites.
Well, I think it depends on each year
Yeah,
where they go.
I mean, it's free event.
I mean, they asked for just a little bit to help, anticipating that they'll get it.
I think if it's part of the Bridgewater access, they're asking for 5, they're looking for 2, they're asking for 2, they're looking for 5.
No, they're looking
know-
for 5,000 from all of the communities, but they're asking for
Yeah.
200 from us.
200, yeah, I think that, I agree that we should, the $200, because it will
Yeah.
benefit people who want to go to it.
Okay,
I-
Svet, you all set with that too?
Yeah, let's support them 200. I'm fine with
Okay.
that.
The next one is a Plymouth Philharmonic playing in Plymouth, and they're charging to get in.
Nope. I don't agree with that.
Svet,
Yeah, doesn't have to do much with Bridgewater. I mean, we're
Okay.
Plymouth County,
the
but
next one is, okay, this is a gentleman who I reached out to because he was very vague in where he was going to perform, and sent his stuff to the Bridgewater Public Library, and they did not want him even if we paid for it.
Well, that's a good
Okay.
excuse for not having them. If the
Yeah.
Bridgewater Library doesn't want to have them, then, there's got to be a reason.
I mean, he was looking for
Um,
us to give him ideas on where he could perform.
no, that's a no
Okay.
for me.
It's a deny.
Yeah,
I deny.
Yep.
All right, the next one, I'm kind of like, ooh, what do we do about this one? This is the Rainwater Players that do the musical at the high school.
Oh, that's interesting.
I don't know if they applied to, yes, they did apply to Rainham. Rainham's budget is so much less than ours, though.
And it has a pretty good impact, more than 2,000. That's what they're saying.
Yes, but they want $2,500. So let's
Does
put a
it
star by
benefit-
that, or do you want to talk about giving?
yeah, let's put a star next to that. We can go back to it. Number 32.
Okay.
Okay.
The next
that's,
one is also at the senior center. Thomas. Oh, this is a Sunday. Oh, wait a minute. Did I jump to the, oh, yes, I jumped. Sorry. 33 is smart
Thomas
symbols,
Rule.
not so smart. All right. So a musical journey through the years. They already have a date in April at the senior center. It's $400 for the artist. So they're hoping that the Council on Aging will give them the balance if we don't do it all. I don't know what the funding
Again.
for the,
Yeah, again, they're going to be performing at the senior center, so I would say 300.
Svet,
I support that.
okay,
Number 33 is 300.
300.
300.
Yep.
Number 34 is an orchestra performing in Sharon.
Are they charging for it?
Yes,
Then I don't think it's appropriate for
No.
Bridgewater.
No, yes.
okay. And on to the Sewell Homestead. It's in Middleborough. They were funded last year with $400. They're applying to lots of communities. They're asking for 1,000. They do charge,
15 and 5 for children.
right?
You know what, the problem is, you just said it. They're charging. So why would we want to give money to an organization that's charging people to come to it? It's the
Yeah.
same situation as the Philharmonic. I've performed at the Soul Homes. It's a very nice place, but, you know, they get revenue from people coming in that pay. So I don't think it's gonna benefit Bridgewater, and I don't think where they're charging, you know, I'd rather take the money we have and put it towards the senior center and have people perform there or wherever, you know, in Bridgewater.
Exactly. I
All in
agree.
favor of deny?
Deny.
And I,
Okay.
If you
Man, we're
don't mind
brutal.
me jumping in right here, just to make a note, maybe I should have said this earlier, but our guidelines, the program guidelines don't allow you to deny based on ticket costs. So like we fund programs that have a ticket cost, and that's because we understand that things are very expensive to put on, and sometimes you do need to charge tickets to be able to put on a performance, for example. That said, if you think that it's not providing enough public benefit, you can deny a proposal based on public benefit for your community. Does that make sense? I just want to make sure that we are
Yeah.
using the right.
Yeah, I don't think we
Reasons.
denied anything that is public benefit of Bridgewater people because of fees.
Because of fees, okay,
It's the outsiders.
Exactly.
great,
It's just
okay.
they're serving other towns.
Yeah, just
All right.
wanted to put that because, you know, applicants can then contest the denial. So I just want to make sure that you're very clear about what you're denying for. So
Thanks.
that's
Thanks.
my 2
Samantha.
cents. Thanks for listening.
no problem.
All right, so the next one is the South Shore Art Center Apprenticeship. It's in Cohasset.
I mean,
I don't know what to think about this one. I think it's really only going to benefit the person who gets the apprenticeship. The whole
they're
program
gonna
only
have-
benefits 30 people. They get paid a stipend, the participants.
it's far from us too.
Yeah. I deny. It
Okay.
doesn't benefit the town.
It might be beneficial for Cohasset, but I don't know about Bridgewater, so I would deny.
Okay. The next one is the South Shore Children's Chorus. They're a partnership with BSU.
Music, yeah.
Only 30 people are served. It charges tuition.
Again, I don't know what the whether they do perform at BSU, but I don't think the average person off the street can go in and take advantage of it if we give them funding for it. It's not fair to our townspeople to not be able to take part unless they have to pay.
And they want $3,000.
It's a pretty big amount too.
Yeah, it is.
Deny?
Deny.
Yes, it's just the fact that they're charging for the tuition. I think it makes it little less reachable for the community. And they say tuition assistance is available for anyone, but it's not guaranteed. So I don't know. I don't see kind of the benefit of being open and available for the community as far as having that audience out there. So I would deny as well for that reason.
You agree, Andrew?
I agree.
Okay, the next one is the, I think this event already happened. This was a Christmas. Yep. It's at Taunton High School in St. Thomas in Bridgewater. Members
Were they
pay
looking for-
dues.
Mhm. I
And what
think
is-
because it's based,
What was that?
I think because it's based on a religious holiday. I don't know. It's a slippery slope for me. would the
what will
average
be,
person be able to go into this church at St. Thomas
Well,
Aquinas?
apparently they're doing it, performing it at Taunton High School too. Not
Okay.
just at the church.
and what would be the event in the spring, since like the one, it's already done?
That must be Radio Time Machine.
Uh,
They want $2,000.
I mean, they have applied for other cultural councils for funds. And they're saying that they'll hold additional fundraisers to meet their goal. So I don't
I don't
think
see it.
that,
Are they charging to come in as well?
Yes.
actually it's pretty solid. It's 45. And then price from 18 to 24. But looks like they're Taunton based, so I don't know.
The only thing I see benefiting Bridgewater is they'd have an event in a Bridgewater location,
Yeah,
but they're commingling the location, which is a religious facility, with a public high school.
Well, it's also, they charge dues to be
Yeah.
part of this.
yeah, I would deny it.
And
Okay, we're almost done. Special needs. I actually spoke to this woman. It's so apparently she's an advocate for special needs kids. So they have like a virtual art show
in
where their
Boston?
stuff is available to be viewed. Let me see what notes I took from her. I had an interesting chat with her. The parent councils, the SPED people, are all really behind doing this. The 500 is out of 2,500.
Well, therefore, for the grace of God, I look at this and I don't have a problem giving them money for this situation. For special needs.
Okay,
for
Svet, how
special
about you?
needs.
Yeah, I
just
read
hope
through.
it's-
I read through it, and I think it's a good cause. Obviously,
Okay,
we want
let's
to
go on to the next one.
definitely support
Okay.
this type of activity.
Let me
And
write
the
that
next
one
one,
down.
this is Debbie Stanton, Bianca. She applied last year and was declined. She wants $3,000 and she is a dance teacher and charges.
Was she denied last year?
Yes.
I don't know. This one. And what wasn't that supposed to be on December 16? That's because today is the 15th.
Yeah, it's tomorrow.
So I think that we have kind of missed here the opportunity, no? Or
It's
she'll
funny.
get-
It's supposed to be happening at BR. Have you heard anything about it? These 700 people that are supposed to be going?
Yeah, no, really.
Any comments?
I would deny.
I deny as well.
Okay. All right, this one was another weird one. Talking Information Center. So she wants to do live. I just can't believe there isn't stuff already done like this. I feel like they're
Well-
reinventing the wheel.
I think they're looking for funding for TIC, which is WATD in Marshfield, is a radio station in town, and they have a talking information center for the blind. So the blind can listen to people read books and all that stuff. I'm familiar with the TIC.
Okay.
It sounds weird, but what it is, like I said, they take a couple hours out of their day at the radio station and read books to blind people
Yeah.
and to seniors who have, you know, failing eyesight and what have you. And I feel it's a good cause. It
Do they
will
already have
benefit
an
Bridgewater.
audience?
They have a huge audience. Yeah. Yeah, they do have a big audience. In fact, John Shea, he's one of the DJs. He's also involved in Bridgewater in doing all sorts of entertainment. He is one of the DJs that runs it, and
Okay.
I think they have a nonprofit leg to it. But you know, somebody in Bridgewater who wants to tune the radio station to 95.9 can hear. You know, I mean, you know, back in the day, they had all sorts of. It was an informational radio station, and now they've got the TIC as part of their. So I would agree in funding it.
I
Completely
personally,
or partially?
Was it $500, right?
Yeah.
I would fund the 500.
They've applied to 18 councils and they want 7,500.
Yep.
Do you want to do the full amount or put that on the start and come back?
We can start and come back.
Okay, we got one more, and then we can go back and figure out exact money. So the last one is a dancer. They said that they're going to do it at Bridgewater School. What is Bridgewater School? And 50 students.
How many students?
50.
50. It's kind of strange. During the Black History Month workshop.
So apparently he applied last year and was given $1,070.
wow.
He's based in Mansfield. Again, it's one of those things where I would love to know he's already contacted the schools where he's going to perform, and we know that there's going to be an audience.
Yep.
Yeah.
But we'd be fully funding him.
I don't know, maybe not fully funding, but maybe we do certain contribution.
Again, where is he going to do it?
It doesn't, yeah, exactly. It's not,
I
it's
mean,
not really.
this is one of those
completely-
situations where we're going to give him money up front and then he has to go shop around his program.
Yes, yeah.
I'm wondering where it happened last year. Because it says Black History Month is February, so it must be, I don't know if it's a school or in town. Or...
Again, that's one of those things where it's like, do we have to call the school and say, is this guy coming?
It's a woman,
Oh,
I
sorry.
believe. It says she uses the historical significance of the dance moves. So it's,
Yeah, here it is, her professional career. Sorry.
I'm wondering if we do give the person funding, if they would be able to commingle it with another group that's having an event as well. Or they just go to a school or where they go. I don't know anything about this. It doesn't, you know, it would have been nice to say, hey, I did this last year at the Bridgewater Senior Center or something. Then we could, you know, unanimously look at this.
Hanoko,
as
can
a,
you tell us if they actually, because they were given money last year, what was their report to you on what they did with it?
The report goes to the council, and so we didn't receive the report as Mass Cultural Council, but I could try to track it down. Or you could reach out to the school
Which
and
school?
see,
Bridgewater School. There's like 5 of them.
I don't know.
Yeah, I would say that we don't have enough information. Unfortunately, they haven't completed their application as diligently as they were supposed to. And there's no data of the impact from the previous year. So this is a reason for me to just say no.
Any thoughts, Andrew?
You're the same. It would be nice if there was some history in this. There's a reason why perhaps they gave the person money last year, but it would have been nice to hear from that person what they did, how many people attended, things like that. Then they could have ammunition.
Well, is that in the
to have-
report that they had to submit? Pinocchio?
No, I don't think so. But
No, this is a Facebook page with some stuff that she's done.
But did she report back to the Bridgewater Council about what she did with the money?
That I don't know, because it would have been the people who were on the council before. So
Who
I could
is-
see if I can track that down. Which is hard because Josh is on paternity leave.
So what is your advice to us on something like that?
I would reach out to the school, like one of the schools, and see if they might know where she performed and try to gather information that way.
Rather than contacting her directly?
I mean, it depends on what the concern is. Yeah, you could contact her directly if you wanted to.
Well, I'm going to be out of the country until next Thursday. So if somebody else wants to do it.
Yeah, I think that this is something that the applicant should have provided already as information. And it wouldn't be fair for other applicants who have already done the work to provide that type of completed application with the necessary evidences.
Yeah,
for the
Hanoka,
impact.
that's another good suggestion in the future, is to tell applicants about their previous activities.
Exactly. I agree with you, Tina. I think also it would be nice for us to encourage some new participants and some new type of events as well. But, it's a work in progress.
So that's something that you can do as a local cultural council. That's not something that we require as Mass Cultural Council, but when you set your local guidelines and priorities for next year, this is something that you can think about. If there's information that you want for next year, you can include that as part of your local guidelines and priorities.
Okay, who's the secretary? Write that down. All right, let's put a star on that one and go back to the ones we starred and figure out how much we're going to give. So Andy, are you keeping track of how much we've allocated already?
yes, I have the amounts here. I haven't added them up because I'm on the telephone. Because I don't have a calculator. I use my phone for a calculator, but I can tell you what we have. Are you ready?
Yep.
Number 3, Davis Bates, $350. Number 11, Chess Club, $1,000. Howard Newman, $400. Number 28. Number 29, Old Colony Historical Society, $200. Number 33, Thomas Rule, Music Through the Years, $300. Number 39, which is, a second. Special Needs Advocacy Outcome, $500. And Talking Information Center, number 41, for $500.
All right, I'll add that up real fast. You guys take a look at the ones that we postponed.
Yep.
All right, we're already at 3250.
Okay. So the ones we postponed, starting with Music Alley, which I have got to step out of the room.
Well, no, the first one that we put a star on was the Bridgewater
Oh, no, I'm
Brass
sorry,
to
the-
place the common.
Yep. Yep.
They want 650.
What number is that, please?
4.
I would support it.
Well,
Again, it's Bridgewater
I
Town.
support it. Fourth of July
The full
concert on
amount
the
or
common.
partial?
I'd support the full amount.
All right, I'm penciling these guys in because we're gonna have to go back and adjust probably. All right, the next
Number
one is the
4.
Juneteenth. They want $5,000.
What number was that, Tina?
Number 5.
5.
I would say give them $5,000.
I'm penciling this in because I think
Yep.
we're gonna have to rejigger this. Okay, One Book, One Community.
Number, please.
6.
If it's gonna benefit the townspeople of Bridgewater, and it's a Bridgewater event, it seems as if it's, have they applied, again, have they applied, there's nobody left on that group there, but have they applied to other towns as well?
They
they
are
say?
taking turns. Each of the different towns are taking turns. So this is
Which
Bridgewater's
means what?
turn.
Oh, it's Bridgewater's turn.
Yes.
Okay. Well, if they were appearing and speaking on their behalf at the conversation, I think they've done their homework. I would be inclined to give them money.
Okay, Svet?
Yeah, I mean, it looks like they're very eager and they wanted to participate on the code tonight, which again says that they're serious about what they're doing and they want to put an effort to benefit the community. So on that side, I would tend to support it. If it would be the full amount, I'm not 100% convinced, to put it this way, as far as they were missing some evidence and data on the real impact from previous years.
Well, I think the issue is that they didn't ever have to keep track because Bridgewater State took care of it. This is their
Exactly,
first
yeah.
foray into this.
Exactly. So
Yeah.
if we all agree, we can support them. It's just, I just wanted again to share how I felt at that time.
Okay, let's just pencil in the 1750
Okay.
and then we'll come back.
Okay.
Okay, the 7th one is Big Ryan. They want 2,400. I think we should give them half.
Yeah, that was my idea as well.
Cool.
I
Sounds
think
good.
1,200. Yeah, that's good.
Okay. And then the next one is number 13, Music Alley. Shut your ears, Andrew.
Hold down.
What do you want to do, Svet?
Tina, ladies first, and then I'll let you know my decision.
Okay, so we denied the guy with the sound system, right?
Yes,
So they're gonna have to come up with money to pay for him.
yes.
So I guess They got 4,000 last year. We can either give them the same 4 or give them 5.
Yeah, I mean, definitely there looks like they're serious and committed. Again, they've previously enjoyed grants from Bridgewater State, which just as one book, they are not funding them anymore. And probably they're not going to give them anything as well moving forward. So I would go with probably 4,500.
Okay, compromise. All right, Andrew, you can come back on.
Hello? All right,
You can come back on.
I'm on. I'm on.
All right, so the next one is number 32, the rainwater. They're looking for 2,500 for the musical.
I would partially be willing to provide some type of support for them, but not the full amount.
How about you, Andrew? Andy,
Same way,
what's that?
the same, not the full amount.
So how much then?
So
They're asking for 25.
What are your thoughts?
I mean, this is another example. You said that the school district should be paying for stuff, like when we were not
Yeah.
going to pay for the artists to come in and do stuff at the schools. This is kind of similar, except that it's the students performing.
yes, I think we should definitely support that fact. Why don't we go with some type of compromise and maybe we do at least $1,000 for them?
Just 1,000?
I mean, they probably have applied to with the Rainham.
No, they have
Consultancy.
just Rainham, but Rainham gets like 8,000 to our 22,000.
Mhm. Do we have
They
any
have a
data
lot
from,
less to play with.
and do we have
Give
any
me-
data from past year for this same organization, or they haven't applied last year with us?
They did not apply last year.
They did not. Yeah, I think
I
it's a
think
good cause.
1,500 might be appropriate.
What'd you say,
Yeah.
Andy?
1,500?
Yeah, I'll
Okay,
support that.
and then the last one is the,
What was the number on that last one? I'm sorry.
32.
Number 32, okay.
And we had talked about putting the TIC on hold, but you went ahead and allotted them the 500 when you did the calculations before. So we'll just leave
Mhm.
that. Okay, so 42 is the dancer. So why don't I add up what we've got so far?
Okay.
And then we'll see what's left for the dancer, or we'll have to jigger the other ones.
Can you, when you add up, can you put the numbers and the amounts on that? Because I've got them on a sheet of paper and I just want to make sure we're all on the same page.
Yep, let me just. Okay, we got 14,600. That's without the last ones.
Mhm.
So, all right, so we've only allocated 17,850.
So we have more money.
Why don't we,
We have more
why don't
money.
why don't we go back and we can add to these other organizations that we've approved so that we can give them more money? Because it's
Okay, but
only
we
gonna
haven't
roll
given
over,
anything to the dancer. Do you want to give money to the dancer?
and that's the last one, correct?
Yes. Number 42.
They were
Remember,
given
we
how
had
much?
questions
last
about
year?
whether she actually really did perform.
Yeah. Did, I can make a phone call to a member of this group from last year.
Okay, so Hanoko,
And-
what is
and they-
the, if we can't allocate the money now, how do we take care of that in the future?
We
We'd
have to
have
in
to-
public forum.
Only issue is that one thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, you would still have to have a voting meeting, or you'd have to convene a quorum.
I
Yeah.
think we should give them the same amount they got last year, or an even $1,000. And
Let's
then
just do an even 1,000 and go back and rejigger the
Yeah.
other ones.
Exactly.
Okay,
And that's number 42,
right.
$1,000. We're getting some stuff done, folks.
We are.
Do you guys think we can maybe schedule one more meeting and get this kind of cleared out completely?
Yeah, if you're not feeling comfortable that we've done this properly, we can definitely reschedule
No,
another one.
no. I think everything is great. I just again, I'm at work and it's been like more than 2
Time-wise, yeah.
hours, and I have to go back on the floor and get back to my duties. And it's
Do
just
you want to schedule another meeting after the holiday? Before the
Well,
beginning
see,
of the year?
here's the problem, and Hanoko,
Yep.
correct me if I'm right. We have to send out the denials. We don't tell anybody they got approved until after 15 days after the denials are sent. Because we might
Yes.
have to revisit and give money to the denials.
That's right. That said, so, ideally, we would have your decisions by, January 2nd, because then you need to wait 15 calendar days for the denials before you send out the approval notifications, because people can come in and say, oh, well, you denied us for these reasons, we're gonna contest it. And then that comes to us. And then if we approve it, then it goes to you as a council. After those 15 days are passed, that's when you can send them out, because, if you have to approve a grant, then you might have to change the numbers a little bit. So that's why we have that 15-day period where you can't send out the approval letters. That said, and the date that the report that sends out those approval notifications, that deadline is January 17th.
All right,
But-
so would your advice be that we go ahead and send out the denials now?
No, I would say it would be better that it's okay, because given like how long it's taken to come together and all of this, like we can push that deadline out. Like I can say like, it's okay, like Bridgewater Cultural Council can like submit the report a couple weeks late. So if we're able to meet in early January and finish everything up and figure out where all that money is going and submit the report a couple weeks late, that's totally fine from our end at Mass Cultural Council.
Okay, so we accomplished enough for you to be happy right now?
Yes, absolutely. Yes, and like ideally, we want the reports in and the approval letters out, because people are waiting on money. But we are in a unique situation where we finally met for the first time with a quorum today on December 15th. And so, yes, like we can take a little extra time, and that's not a problem, especially since it would mean that we would get to, or you would have time to really sit down and make sure all the numbers are right and that you feel comfortable with the decisions that you're making as a council.
Okay,
All right, well, sounds great, and looks like we'll be able to schedule another date, hopefully after the holidays. Is that the plan?
I think that is the plan.
That's a great plan. I think we got a lot done tonight. It was very nice
Okay,
chatting
so
with all of you.
Andy,
Thank
are
you,
you going
Andrew.
to go ahead and contact the dancer?
I'm gonna I can contact, well, I don't know, is it appropriate for me to contact the dancer? The question I had was, I know a member who was on this board last year, and I'll find out why they approved the money if they knew anything about the dancer.
I think that's a great idea. Are you okay with that,
Instead
Sven?
of- Yeah,
Absolutely, definitely.
I just want to make sure from Hanako that it's okay to contact a former member of this group and find out as much as I can about the dancer. And then I can just send an email out to all of you and let you know what I found.
Yeah.
Yes, absolutely. So you can gather information about the applications that you have questions about that would,
Okay,
there are
I'm
things-
giving you gentlemen carte blanche to go ahead and contact any one of these 42 people.
Okay,
You don't need my approval. Go for it.
Okay.
Thank you, Tina.
And
Okay, fine.
the only thing that I will say is that you can't deliberate on email or anything. So you can gather information. you
Yeah,
can
no, we'll
send,
gather
but you
information
can't-
and then when we meet in
Yeah.
January,
Yes,
people
yeah.
who
Then we
got
can review it.
questions can
Perfect.
present
Yes.
it. Perfect.
Awesome.
And
right.
no, on that, no,
Sorry, go ahead.
on that note, I'm sorry, on that note as well, is there anyone else on this list that I can contact? For instance, the fellow that's got the sound equipment. Can I contact him and find out exactly what he's going to be using the money for? Because if this is going to benefit Music Alley or benefit the cultural count, the Juneteenth, then, I don't know what to say.
I mean, I guess
lot
it's
of these
appropriate to
people-
ask him, does he think he's going to get funding from those groups? Or is he just going to be funded by us and therefore he won't be asking those groups for money?
Exactly.
That's what I wanted to get at.
I would like you to ask him that. That would be perfect.
Yep. Okay, great. And I'll follow up with that as well. I'll also put together we have the tally is right now, what is the amount that you have written down for the tally of what we've allocated?
How much we had allocated? It's,
Yeah,
sorry, 18,850.
850. Okay.
Yeah. And if you go to Smart
Wow.
Simple, you should be able to see what the financials are.
Yeah. Okay, that sounds good.
financial
I'll be
report.
waiting for it.
Is there, and then you can read the one from the previous year too.
Awesome.
Sounds good.
Well,
All right, so is it up to us to set up a meeting or is that something that the town does?
It's up to you as a council. So traditionally, the chair would do that.
All right, well then I will get the emails from the new person. And what do we do about the two ladies who've never responded to anything?
You know what? Yeah, it's gonna cause problems down the line because if they're not on the council, then they should be taken off, but it sounds like they need to be officially taken off. So I can be in contact with the town about that because that just seems like a headache for you to deal with. So I'll see what I can do. And figure out the best way to deal with that situation. And I'll reach out to you, Tina, about that.
Great. All right, so I feel pretty good about today's meeting that we didn't allocate all the money so that if this fourth person who appears to be alive and responsive, she may have some input on some of the things we might have denied. So we still have some flexibility, which is nice.
definitely.
So we
Yep.
should get her on board to look at the grants and then, yeah. All right, so the first week of January, you guys let me know what your schedule is like.
Perfect.
My schedule's open.
This is Andy that said that?
Andy, yeah. I mean, any night that works for everyone. I know that, it worked out pretty good for 6. I just couldn't get online. I don't know why, but I'll have to investigate that and go on and find out.
Yeah, I've been
I had
doing
a
so many
Zoom
Zoom
meeting this afternoon.
classes. Like that, yeah. It's
No,
like
I had a Zoom meeting this afternoon at 2:00 from 2 to 3 with my physician and
and it worked.
fine. So,
Yeah.
yeah.
Okay, all right, so that week, shoot, I don't know I don't know, I have to play it by ear. My daughter is moving to California, but she's with me that week. So I'm not keen on, are you guys like booked between Christmas and New Year's?
I'm not. I'll
Sven?
be in Florida, but it's easy enough to go online. I'll go on the phone.
Yeah.
You're willing to do that?
Usually I'll have my days off on Sunday and Monday, but again, that changes based on the business and around the holidays. But I'll keep you posted, and as soon as you guys.
Well, we have to give the
share your
town, we have to post it 48 hours before it happens.
Mhm. So as soon as you guys agree on certain time that works for everyone else, I'll see if I can flex. If not, again, usually Mondays would be probably the best day for me.
What about Monday after New Year's? Will that work for everyone? So we
Well,
can.
the Monday after
post
New
it.
Year's is the following week. Are you
Oh,
talking
it's gotta
about the
be done
second?
before New Year's.
The
The second,
second?
yeah.
The second?
It's gotta
The
be,
only issue is
yeah,
I
so-
have yoga at 7. Can we meet early? Like 4?
yeah. It works for me. I just, it's, you know, Sven, whatever works for you, Sven. You had said Sundays and Mondays. I can't do Sundays, but Mondays work.
It should
I
be
mean, could
fine.
we-
If
That
I'm
is a
working,
holiday? That Monday is a holiday?
Is Monday a holiday?
Yeah, no, the kids don't have school. It's a holiday.
It is a holiday and I don't think the town will let you hold a meeting on that day.
Okay.
so we'll find a, again, mutually agreeable time and maybe a little later in the evening.
Well, if you have enough notice, can you clear up the 3rd Tuesday night?
Yeah, again, I have to do the schedule in a way that I can get home or I can do it from work, just as I do it tonight.
What is the
But-
earliest you guys could meet on a Tuesday in the afternoon, late afternoon?
Anytime.
Vet?
I would say similar like tonight,
So
probably.
6 o'clock. So
6,
let's
yeah.
tentatively plan for January 3rd, Tuesday night at 6 PM.
Sounds good.
Sounds good to me.
Okay. Have a good holiday.
Happy holidays, everyone. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Happy
Thank you,
holidays.
everyone.
Bye.
Tina,
Bye.
enjoy your
Bye-bye.
trip to the Dominican Republic.
Oh, I hope so. Bye, guys.
We do have to officially close the meeting, so just the.
I'm not a Robert's Rules person, whatever we have to do.
I'm also pretty new to this, but I think you just have to officially call the meeting to a close and do a vote on it.
All in favor?
Aye.
Great.
Okay, it's unanimous. Good night.
Good night.
Good night.
Bye.
Thank you, everyone.